Hey everybody, we've kicked off just a little bit early because this thing booted up so fast, it blew my mind. And that's not exactly why I've jumped on, because, well, right here we have a prime example of what's been going on. And that's what we do here at Deep for Play. I thank you for joining me. I almost did a brief introduction before the intro, but I didn't want the glitch to disappear. It's not really a glitch. Man, I'll tell you what. I wish I could drink coffee in the morning with mainframe, although they might like to avoid it. But just in case it could happen, if I only could have a coffee with mainframe. And just, you know, I'm not there to tell them anything. If I was, I might have questions, but it would be based on what they say. Because there's so many things I'd like to just hear them say. I might do a video in the future to highlight things they've said that they believed in. Okay, so a lot of people might say, "Oh, well, you know, that was just the pitch. You know, they wanted to make their money, they've done it, maybe they didn't make enough, and now they're stuck." Ooh, those are tough things. But as you can see, a lot of people would say that we'd rather have it slow and good. Only God is good. But, you know, things that work. Not it just works. Yeah, that's the Bethesda battle cry right there of a particular CEO. And we say, perhaps, okay, I'm going to say those who say, no, we want it whole, we want it complete. This is why we have the public test server. Now, the public test server has more people on it than anybody would suspect, because a lot of people jump in and off of the test server, but it's definitely a labor of love. You don't get any reward for being there. In fact, it's quite a lot of loss, really. You could build a nice place, but it's just for you and a few people around you. So a lot of the kudos of, look at what I've done, you know, they aren't there for you. They just aren't. And there we go, we're green now. Bada bing, and Flo's place is in place. Bada bing, let's go check your property. Yes. So here, we've just hit off the major things. Well, what about permissions and cases? Those permission issues fade each and every time. I don't have it. Well, I could whack one of her own objects. Could be useful. Before we had Obligato, take a shot at this one, of course. And Obligato is a peasant. No, Obligato is what we call a homesteader. Now, we don't really have a peasant. I guess that's demeaning. One thing I would enjoy. Oh, before I say anything about what I think, Masterfully Mastered, MMDM, oh darn it. Anyway, you know who he is. I just got a chance to resubscribe because I hadn't seen the videos since my channel rebooted, and I was just going to let him show up. I like how YouTube's analog works. It starts showing up things I like. I imagine Nasamun and Kim B will show up soon also. So, when you're filling out an invite into a clan, you don't know, do you? Hey, will they think I'm cool? Are they going to tell me kick rocks? You know, are they, well, right. Masterfully Mastered covered the idea, things I've been hearing about, that you have to do interviews in Discord. Now, who'd you vote for? You know, how do you respond to, let's go Biden? I mean, Brandon, right? They can't get it right. That poor NASA guy probably got fired, if anybody remembers that. Let's go Brandon. And then, never mind. For anybody who's politically polarized, I'm not. I'm Christian. I vote for whoever I agree with. Oh, I know. I just don't often agree with people that are on the left. Not often. I used to when I was a kid when they were normal. So anyway, what people don't get is that, all right, so we get these notifications over here. I've already erased twists that say you've been accepted, right? You've been accepted into the clan. Now, why can those not come? We have all this space right here where you can have a biography. Look at me, I'm in a video game, whatever. Why doesn't it have a list of your permissions? Hey, you're a homesteader. You know, you can't use crafting benches. Is that the way it is? You have anything placed in here. I finally figured out the cooldown. What was the cooldown? 36 hours. Not after you've been accepted, but when you're accepted. Anything placed within 36 hours can't be destroyed. When I heard that, I was like, well, okay. So, is it the opposite? Because there's things that have been there for a long time. And so there's this strange cooldown with what exactly you can do with objects that have been placed within 36 hours. And I was like, hold it. Oh, so hold it, you can't destroy something that's only been placed within, or I didn't get it. Because what if it's been there longer? You can destroy those. Or you can only destroy things that have been placed within the last 36? Is that it? So I'm going to have to find that. Well, shoot. Okay, twist. Really? I know. This is a multi-purpose situation here with Deep for Play. Twist is so impressed. I got a mosquito. We're going to be dodging that sucker in a second. The bugs. It is endless. They are endless. They come in on the cats. The cats come in. I have a bug on me. So, not you guys. That's a nice face. That guy looks desperate. Who knows what his situation is. So much news these days. It's all so interesting. We're going to go up here. Go to announcements. So 7-day trial, the temporary plot, the R7, Yeah, the plot. Okay, here's one point. When your trial expires, because this was trouble yesterday, the plot is frozen for 72 hours before being released, and its contents are then sent to the redeeming queue. Okay, so if they decide to buy the game, they can return to the same character and recover their belongings. The trial is not a limited time event. Like a Steam free weekend, it is intended to remain available over time. Right? So when your plot's in the red, you should be able to claim it. We had someone who earlier could not claim, they stated before it was in the red or after. They could not increase the time on their grace plot. Now, they own plot tokens, so it wasn't about a trial. It wasn't about the trial thing. It was about this. When the plot is frozen for 72 hours before being released. That happens to everybody. When you saw my video before, I praise the Lord that you did see it. Yeah, Volrath and Pompous. Hopefully they answered. Maybe they jumped on and answered, because Volrath joined us since this morning. Pompous and Minik were on there. Well, showing themselves as being about. So we have a homesteader deal. That said, we're hoping to include a new homesteader clan rank and a permission change that blocks homesteaders from destroying property on other clan members' plots, besides their own, making it safer to recruit and integrate new members. Right? So that's the 36 hour. Blocks you from destroying property for 36 hours? Or I thought you would have to be raised up to a villager. So how do they settle on this? We can look up Homesteader, and we'll see what's come up. Because you know I've been poking at this, right? You know I've been poking at this going, well, okay, what is it? I didn't see any wrap up by Coloco, who I've looked for those in the past. Because Coloco will often put, here's the charcoal thing for everybody who's celebrated that. Half! And here, upgrade from 5.4 to 5.6. You see, I keep telling you how they jumped 5.5. Because 5.5 is basically, well, not basically, it's simply two different game engines. One for Fortnite, so they could put things right into play as you're playing Fortnite. Boom! There, fight that robot. Oh, good, this is so fun. Chili Meat used to do this with adding stuff. You could do it by editing and having stuff be produced with your editing commands. So this is basically just what they're doing. And 5.5 was there side by side with it. Those pretty much two got packed together from what little Unreal actually said, and they came out with 5.6. This is what I. Okay, it's probably more complicated than this, but why go any farther in the weeds? So now we're on 5.6. So it was a jump forward, but not a huge one, okay? We came from 4.3, and they started creating this thing 5 years ago when they were promoting it, and they're in there, dashing out these things. Exactly what version were they on back then? So anyway, we don't see anything more than the blocks homesteaders from destroying property, and that's at 36 hours. So let's just take it as that, right? Take it as that. They can't go around destroying things on other people's property for 36 hours? Is that long enough? Or should it just be a permission thing that comes with them being raised a villager, that they just can't destroy anything on other people's property until they're a villager, which I guess. But then your property has to be clan shared. You can share your chests, but not share your property. It will turn off your crafting benches, I believe, if you do not share your property, even though you could share your chests via that way. Community help, general, not going to go there. I don't care. I want it now. I just want a pony. Nothing's new. Nothing's new. We get new people on, and they just repeat the same thing we've said. We're like, why do we have seasons? Someone, Brother Rogue went on like he was writing a book. Why don't we have seasons? Dude, they've been asking for seasons for, well, as long as Eltari has been promoting Pax Dei. Klepto Granny might not want to trust her. Through the Steam overlay, you can pull up a web browser. Yeah, if you want to do that, or you can just go to this tab right down here and hit Edge. But yeah, okay. I don't use the Steam overlay for anything. That's just, how often do you find yourself alt-tabbing out of the game to look something up on gaming tools, recipes, and resources? No, I actually just go over here to shortcuts. Meanwhile, while we're here, I'm promoting this, that we can go to Pax Dei Interactive Maps. This is the hidden gaming lair, right? You're going to want to check this out because I'm not linked to this. I'm not even, I have an account, but I never log in. So, I'll remember the dev's name, Dev Leon, because I see him here in Discord. That's how I found out their name. You can get on here and you can say, would you please list everything? Could you just, could you list everything? You could do it. You could do it. There you go. Boom. Oh, now it's not so bad. It's not so bad. You could zoom in and you have everything known listed. This list was accurate before any resource adjustments that we had in the past. Mainframe has clearly claimed that, because people complained, like, oh, it wasn't like it was before. It wasn't like it was before. It isn't like it was before. And that's, I like that. I looked up what that meant, and I forgot. So, I am new to Pax Dei. I buy it from Steam. Now I have one plot token. When I play the plot, I need to take or I can buy 1 month with grace, because I read in this channel that you can only get 30 days when it's a grace plot. The answer. maybe. Because, okay, so this is a time trial plot. It's not a grace plot. It's just a token that lasts for 7 days. Grace plots are 400 grace for 30 days. You can manually renew them with another 400 grace every 30 days. You can add time a few days before the 30 days are up. Tokens are good for 30 days from the time you place them, and you can set token plots to auto-renew. This isn't what this gentleman or gentlelady was talking about, Gentlepaxian was talking about. Now that I have one plot token, when I play the plot, I need to take ABO. So you bought it from Steam. Right, okay. If you have a 7-day trial, if you have purchased a 7-day trial, that token you received. See, English is my second language. My first one is do, a da is all I want to say to you. A do, a da, it's meaningless and all that's true. By Adam Sandler, please. If you have purchased a 7-day trial, that token you received is worth 7 days. Received. Is that the IE thing? I mean, come on. EI, I before E, except after C, and many other things. I know it's after C right there. It's the worst failure. 7-day trial. The token you receive is worth 7 days. And then increased by 23 when the base game is purchased. So when the base game, I should put capital B, when the base game is purchased. I can do it. I need a secretary. One with a tight sweater. When the base game is purchased. So that trial plot is, I guess, locked in that is that not to be extended. But by purchase. Of the full game. You gotta think so hard. Try writing somebody who's an officer with a star, 2 stars, be my little general. That's how you do general ranks, just so you know. Be my little general. Brigadier, major, lieutenant, general. So, that trial plot is that. I got to stutter. Is that not to be extended, but by purchase of the full game. I should. There's my terrible English. Now. Separate. Right? But that is separate. Right? A separate matter. A separate... What is that? What is that? A separate matter. A separate... It's the A. I spell it different every time. hooked on phonics, worked for me. But that is a separate issue, or not a separate deal. Much like the token, but for the need to wait. But for the need. But cannot. But can be extended. Okay, much like the token. Now, the token is a 7-day trial. Did he say he bought separate tokens? You only get 30 days when it's a grace plot. Much like there it is. You only get... It's 30 days as soon as the plot is established. Placed. Whether token or grace. Is this making sense, or should I stop? Well, I'm just asking you. Garrus, oh man. The trial token must be renewed of the base game. Now, if this person thinks they're going to keep their plots, right? Not buy another token or grace. Though you may lift the trial plot and place a grace plot. How did he get the grace? Is he on a trial? So did he buy it? Am I messing this all up? Now, no, ABO. So should I just put, yeah, much like the token, it's 30 days as soon as the plot is placed, whether token or grace. I'm going to move this down. We work so hard for no money. So not the trial. I'm going to ask that clear out. So not the trial, but a full base game purchase. Right. Not have a plot token. Yeah, when I play the plot, I need to take a bow. Take a bow. I just can't figure out what he would have meant by that. Someone else might have thought of it. Much like the token, It's 30 days as soon as the plot is placed, token or grace. Yeah. The trial token must be renewed by the purchase of the base game. But yeah, this might not be it. Right. Yeah, we're just going to leave like that. I'm going to be confusing because I was confused for a minute. I was on to the wrong thing, wasn't I? All right. Apologies for the weeds. So, can you please tone those furnaces size down just a bit? Yeah, I hope not. I just try to build a little workshop again. I now want the tuning. Yeah, shrink it now that everybody's figured it out. Yeah, shrink the furnace. Fernance. Typical. Now we're out of here. Let's get out of here before we get in trouble. So, big deal when it comes to these plots and permissions. Some people get some parts, and all of a sudden they ran into something that they're like, well, hold it, what about this? Well, I certainly haven't done everything. I've only set down so many of these darn things. And I've only had so many conditions, right? Especially as, glitches and patches have gone by. Let's do the surfing. Everybody's gone surfing. Surfing isolate. Come on. Yes. Solid. Right? Solid as a rock. That's a terrible song. That's what Pax Dei is. Right? The thrill is still... I'm not going to sing that part. It's embarrassing. No birds. There they are. They have many spots for them. Yeah, check out... well, a lot of people have over 500. Well, I was just below 500. Hi, guy. Just below 500 when I checked it out. I wanted to wait till 420. But I was like, man, it might jump forward, and then I'll be over 500. Well, that's a lot of views. You gotta love that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's a point I didn't quite make with Obligato, is at the end you can see that he could select the pieces, right? You can't, this lot's useless until it cools this business. Now, opening this, shared with clan, Obligato's wicker basket. Hold it, can Twist destroy it? Because it's in her way, isn't it? You knew that when Obligato put it down. What a rude character, that new homesteader. You can get rid of it. So, that's just fine. Now, let's put it back and be polite. Because, it's like, you don't want to be like that, do you? Just say, hold it, I need to do some construction. So, let's put it somewhere. I know you wanted to help. No, you didn't. You didn't know what you were doing. You're just messing around. But we're going to act like we're going to project. And someone said if you put it near... I know, it's on the stone. There it is. Ah. If you put it near the edge, maybe you'll have troubles. Okay, you can see where I can... people put things on the edge. And I talked about any kind of server creep. If you put things right on the edge, you're asking for it. You're just asking for it. So you'll get what you ask for. I'm amazed. Hold it. I'm totally amazed. Let's. Where did the basket go? Okay, you know, there's stones on the ground here. Oh, there's the stone I was in. Loving that stone I'm in. Loving that old stone magic called basket loss. Where is it? Woo woo. No, not seeing it. But okay, you can see these stones and stuff, and they do affect where things go into the ground. If it can't find a location, you got an issue, right? You know, it's going to go down the side. If you kill, you see, look at this. You see that space? You see that space? That's where your stuff went. And they're talking about losing your stuff under the mesh, right? Well, here you go. I got a whole list of things. I really appreciate Masterfully Mastered doing all that work. That's a lot of work. I mean, that was a lot. I like that. It made me misty-eyed. Really, you know, really. I was just like, oh, this is so great. Well, no, I will never be doing anything like that. I just absolutely appreciate that someone else is doing it so cool. So where did it go? Where did the basket go? Boom. Where are you? Do I see you? Because it might have cycled back into inventory by now. Maybe. Heard you got the rabies? I'll click your boom boom down. No, I'm not seeing it. Informa. Dang it. Interesting. Do I see a box anywhere? Is it obvious? I mean, there's no boxes kicked out anywhere. Did the box go down here? You know, couldn't find space because it was around me. You know, because the baskets are kicked out as a box, not as a basket. Because that would look kind of, you'd be like, oh, I placed the basket. But, I have no basket. I destroyed Obi's basket. I feel very responsible. Well, you know I love catching stuff, though. I mean, really, that was cool. Cool. Wow. Okay, so I say a lot of stuff, and you'd be like, man, I've never seen this in game. It's all playing out. It's all showing up. Oh, did you? You have a face. Very good, Twist. I'm glad you have a face after that. Might be a little bit slow today. We have an open chat. The first thing you do when getting into Pax Dei, once you remember to do it, is get into chat. They're talking about, kind of surprised not more people here. Now, I don't know how many are. Of course, we're a little bit behind on the logins. I don't think I can make a... I turned off how many people are logging in because I was already impressed. I don't think I can make the trek down that far at the moment. Apologies, I don't have the full quantity anyhow. So apparently a sale going on. Welcome to Retz. Casca saying, welcome to Retz. That was at 6:58. I am new here. Wow, so many people have these names that I almost thought I saw before. I do some shady stuff for some bronze tools, though. Right? Are you new? I'll give you some bronze tools. Welcome to Retz. Yeah, you'll like it here. I'm running to the Petra. You coming? Yeah, from the north, thanks. If you need anything, just ask. Seriously, thanks. Kind of surprised not more people here. There's a good amount, mainly depends on the time of day. And you can check that out on the Steam DB to find out when the peak is, can't you? We can look at that. Man, we should do that really quick. This is one of those programs where we do an incredible amount of cool things. Steam DB. Right, how do I spell Steam? DB. I need a keyboard that won't drive me crazy. Pax Dei. 7-day trial? No. 452 in game at this point on a Sunday night. This is 21:27 in Alaska. That's 8:27. Isn't it? Hold on, no. No, it's 9:27. Well, okay, never mind. I'm so smart. 8, 9. Well, it's 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock in Hawaii. That's as late as you can get in the U.S. Now there's Guam. And there's other places we're taking over. I love expansion. It's about time. Okay, here we go. 452 in game. Now, where's your medium? You see this line down here? Get out of the way, you stupid thing. stupid thing. You see this gray line? When I'm off screen, you get that gray line. That's your median, right? That's your median. So what's the median on yesterday's height, right? Your median amount of players on, because well up here it's much higher, right? 13, 17. But when you look at the median, this gray line, that's what you're looking at. I keep talking about this gray line. Not that one, this one. Come on, click to the right thing. 9:44, right? And what time was it then? When did that high peak, right? It starts kicking up down around here, down around 3 o'clock Greenwich Marine Time, and 11 o'clock UTC, which I don't have my multiple times listed. UTC is 4 hours off of me. Is it? I think it's 4 hours advanced of me. You take my time and add 4, I think. We're not that far apart. It's 9 hours to Britain, but is Athena on the other side of Greenwich Marine Time? No, couldn't be. Right? So maybe it's 9. Anyway, and that ends around 2 o'clock in the morning is when you're hitting mid-decline out to the server reset traditional time. Used to be around 2:33, just depending on how long they believed it was going to take. I think they back it up a little bit earlier. I guess it depended on the test server and what shard you were on, because they had to often do a sequence thing. But you can see over the nights you have this common mean, right? This, well, you could call it an average, but it's not an average. We're not doing an average here. We're just looking at this mean. That's not as accurate. But you can see this sweep, right? You can see this, you can barely see it. You can see that gray line going across, taking a dip, and now taking this slow rise average. Now, Steam is always going to predict for the default. You go to the max here, you can see that we have an overall decline. So every time you're going to see this little tip down here, every time that's predicting a drop. You can see that on stock market charts. Again, there's that gray line sitting right under the green. That shows you something different there. No, it won't show you it all right now. So, average players. Just in case you hadn't noticed that, players, average players, players. What's the diff? What's the diff? There's the average players. There's the players. So we're all there. So in the last month, it just doesn't look as cool. Why the 2? Do you see? Do you see? This up and down thing. Well, check out average players, and then you're going to be able to give yourself a number. You know, something more fun to deal with than I don't know, this up and down thing that doesn't look fun, because that's just night and day. Night and day between going back and forth between everybody else. This is all July. It's all wonderful. You can see the overall height. The overall average height is doing well. Of course, that tag at the end, just because historically that's a predictor. That will change. I've seen ones where this tag is assuming upwards. And you know what games those are. You may. In the last 48 hours, we've only looked great. See though, see that nice little tailing? Oh, never mind. You're tired of that. There you go. So, no, it's Sunday. You should be doing better things. You are living here in Retz, Rigcore. Yes. Right? Was there any answer to that? Even in Retz, you know, Retz. Of course, it's, you know, it was something. Putting on the Retz. That's why I was doing it. Anyway, evening Retz. It is, you know, nearly 500 on a Sunday night. That's pretty good, you know, and it's later, you know, nearly 500. I'm gonna say 8:30, you know, 9:30 Alaska time. I keep doing that to myself. Don't see, I almost did it again. 9:30, 9:34 Alaska time. Nice. It is. On a Sunday, it is. piggy. Hold it. Dang it. Now, private, public, villagers and up. So we still don't see a specific thing that says homesteader. It just says all. So homesteader is this kind of vacuous term that you actually don't get to see on items. I go back to the idea, which we were just at, that when you see your membership, that there be given your rank at initiation. You know, the initial day you become part of that, when you're recruited, when you're accepted, you know, there should be an explanation here that there is a 36-hour deal, and they can state it nice and clearly that, yeah, things placed within the last 36 hours you can't destroy, but everything else you can. Or your permissions are limited on other people's plots. They should state that clearly. And there's space right there. We got to look at this anyway. What if I have a long biography? Tough nipples. Okay? And this should be the same. And it should be, all the way up to alderman. Just, if there is a rule, if there's any kind of rule that defines an alderman, like, you're replacing one before this one can leave the clan, which it says over, of course, by the time you get all the way over to disbanding your clan, it finally reminds you, oh, you need an alderman. Well, why don't they put that here? Hey, in case you want to rage quit, there should be a little bit of information, because the figure it out thing, by now we figured out what needs to be written down. Don't you think? I think. Let me just talk about myself. I figured out what needs to be written down. Look at that. Look, it's back. Isn't it great? It's not so bad. Let's cut down some trees. There's... We gotta cut down trees, because cutting down trees is good for the mind. Now, if you're enjoying Pax Dei right now, and you've enjoyed it for years, there are people in Discord who suggest every day something as if it was brand new, as if we're all a bunch of ignorant, bumpkins, who haven't already suggested everything anybody else could come up with. So many times we're tired of it. And may God bless their heart, that they come in and they say, hey, this game really needs seasons. Oh, wow, really? I hadn't even thought of that. Well, who's that brother from another mother who, leaps out of his damn chair? Well, that's my boy again. He leaps out of his dang chair. No. Yeah, let me do that. You want to watch me chop trees? Anyway. Give me my private information. This is my private life. This is my private life. This is my private life. Come and get me out of here. That sounds kind of dirty after all. This is my private life. Something dangerous, I know. What I really want to know is that it's always been this. If it's always been this way. There he is. He's a wonderful guy. He's right there. That's what I want to, let's make that all big. Sorry, Twist. Sorry. Can we make it bigger? Yes. This brother from another mother. This is what I think when I see some of these suggestions. It's like, we should have seasons. It'd be really great if we had buy orders. Have you thought of that? Have you guys ever thought of mounts? How about mounts? The combat sucks. It's not like Conan at all. Have you guys ever played Valheim? I like Valheim. Never mind. Thanks for watching. Well, what? It's a live stream. These live streams go up, you know, and I'm doing the newest, and I just haven't got into the mode of actually, you know, doing a show and organizing a show and having it all segmented out, you know, chapters and all that stuff. We're going from here. We're seeing a trend. What comes up? I might segment into different things like calls from the public, calls. Syphil and Ollie, anyone? I mean, really. That show's the best. Grab reads. Oh my goodness. The targets, right? You gotta make that straw. Yeah, you won't. You don't like cutting trees? So, right. Masterfully, there. No, don't follow me. Don't follow me. But if I give you the sky, you know it wouldn't be sky anymore. So if I give it to you, you gotta promise to keep it whole. REM never made any sense, but they sounded good. By the sky and sound the sky. Dead Letter Office was a great album, and they have a good Aerosmith song on there. Just in case you didn't know. Dead Letter Office. I guess it was eponymous, whatever that album is. They airbrushed my face is on the inside. They airbrushed Michael Stipe's face because he had so much acne. What would you do? What would you do if I followed you? Country version of Stone Temple Pilots. What would you do if I followed? I'll stop. One time a thing occurred to me. What's real and what's for sale? Think I'll be safer all alone. Flies in the Vaseline we are. Sometimes it blows my mind. Keep getting stuck here all the time. I know, it sounds just like him. I'm going to get totally copywritten. You know, and anybody who wants, Steve Weiland, right? Weiland? Is it Steve Weiland? Another guy on heroin down the drain. It's all. If you don't like drugs, you don't like music. And so I guess I don't like music. I don't like the drugs, but it makes great music. I don't like the drugs. Cat. Oh, good. It happened. See? Oh, another one caught on camera. See, you know I've been waiting to do this. Now, if you haven't bothered to do this yourself, you can chop it. Oh no, you can't chop it. Oh, what if I hold E? Hold E. Well, let's stop. Can I jump out of it? Jump. Right, just in case you were curious. If this haven't happened to you yet, you know, there. Don't do anything. Don't just do something. Stand there. Jump. Crisscross will make you jump. Mac Daddy will make you. We're coming up on level 14. Now, I've been seeing what I believe was an adjustment to our heartwood. Chop down your heartwood in the middle of a Pax Dei, Glenn. Anyway, come here. Come on. I know I've been... Oh, forget you. Moody animals. I'm not going to play their games. They're not going to, whatever, man. Don't need to just kill a boar. Doesn't turn me on. Where are you? Yes. Do I have? No. Let's go to Kmart. Don't do it. Jerks! Okay, forget it. I was going to buy some at Kmart, but no. No, I'm going to just chop down trees. It's discipline. It's discipline. If you ever want to clear the lot around your home, when I first showed up here, someone was building this tree house. It wasn't working out for them. They had claimed the whole woods, and that's why there's no one here. I'm experimenting. That's why there's no one here in the woods. You might think, well, hold it, right next to the Golden City. You'd think anybody who wanted a little plot in the woods would have grabbed here. Well, no, you have a couple large assemblies back here. This one's been here since day one, as far as I know, before I was here, And the guys beyond them have moved around a little bit, if not reset. It could be a different person, could be a reset. But yeah, why isn't the little woods cleared up? Well, it was all hovered over, maybe 5 or 6 plots. This whole forest was taken up, except it was all straight up in the air. And it didn't work out for them. Which, that makes sense. Now, there's a way to do things up in the air that's very nice. It is. But you can't, you need all the advanced woodwork, level 20 at the least, even to start knocking it out the way it could possibly look. Because the basic materials won't even get you there. You're going to look clunky, you're going to look too big, and you're going to be very, very discouraged. For any of you who just haven't seen the jacking up of the trees, and you haven't heard me talk about it enough, why do the trees jack themselves up in the air? You just saw it behind us. Here comes the flashing light. Yes, it's the evening sun. I am trying to see if I can catch things too. Oh, there, dang it. It's the reeds. It could also be you, maybe, but no, it's the reeds. It could be the spring, the rain lilies. It could be raspberry plants. So that's the only reason why. Why does it do that? Because these things are firm. They have an alpha. If they made the alpha small, the alphas on these things are huge. That's why you can get arrows stuck in them. That's why you can use them as your own self-defense if someone's trying to chop at you. It's also theirs. It's why when I was firing arrows the other day with Twist, she would face this way with a tree at her back, right? And we pull out the bow, right? We something on the fiddle and the resin up the bow. I can't remember the song. Louisiana Saturday Night. There you go. No, there's out of arrows, but I would fire a shot from here, and it would get stuck on the tree behind me. And it did that twice. And I thought, oh, so it does the same thing, because I've had reeds grab my arrow, and I've taken a pretty good hit for it by the boar. The shield thing, masterfully mastered, had the shield thing. You get you pull your shield and the animal just stands in front of you, or your shield doesn't fully raise, and the animal just gets you. How many shots you get off a mouse click, 2 or 3, and it gets you because you take 3 shots. Is that one? Yeah, you take 3 shots and it gets you on the 3rd. This could be your dying moment. This could be the clutch moment, but you're screwed because you can't choose between 2 and 3 hits. Another big thing you hear people talking about is there's no feel. When you hit something, where's the impact, right? Now, I was talking about last time, and I can highlight this. I should do a bit of editing work and really point out some things that have been here in Pax Dei in the hearts of the developers, things they want. That's why I don't know. I get pretty snarky when people are like, "Man, you guys are silly not to have this." And like that guy I just pointed out was just writing out whole books on all these things Pax Dei should have, and it's like, dude, did you just cut and paste from 2.5, 3 years ago? Where are you going? Just Just, no, 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 no. Hey, hold it. This is great. Okay, are there too many birds? Well, I think dropping all these birds is a fast way to find out what too many birds is. And I'd definitely rather find out what too many birds are. Okay, so Master Master said we'd rather have things good. You might want to understand that compared to Jeff Bezos, who's running Blue Origin, who's just had a massive problem because they want to make things perfect and good, and they just lost everything. Everything for the Artemis 3. Well, you might think, well, why not Elon Musk? Okay, so Bezos had to basically sue the government to make sure he got that NASA contract. I don't believe Elon Musk was going for the Artemis contract because they didn't have, I think SpaceX was launching stuff back with Obama, and people really need to remember that. So this has been in practice a long time. The one thing Elon Musk was doing is he had all these shattered starships everywhere, right? Remember when he was walking through like 6 of those shattered things all over the ground? He has this, well, he's been doing it since long before he had a Tesla. And if you look up the history, it becomes obvious. He went for a long time developing a car that did not exist and convincing people to believe in him. Now he has that car. So now he nearly has a starship. And the thing landed itself on the ocean. Well, not itself, but they program it. So one thing he says, though, is fail fast. Fail fast, learn faster. Look, if we were used to mainframe doing all these perfect things, maybe we, I wouldn't, but yeah, I'm not gonna exclude myself. Yeah, oh, now they screwed up. This is a deal breaker. Mainframes, the term wasn't screwed up. The term is, I'm gonna have too much wood. The term is, they put stuff out that did not work. It was a fail fast, learn faster process. And I believed in what they were doing. Then they seemingly backed off into this fear. Kind of a fear factor. Let's go put a bunch of this in the basket. In the picnic basket. Hey. There you go. Yogi, yogi. Now things have to advance with me and D for Play, because getting in with people, did that other basket show up? It's funny, where'd I get this one, right? It disappeared. Yeah, whatever. It showed back up. Just took it a minute. Anyway. I didn't make one. Alright. That's there. Construction. Covering these things a little. Only just to finally, I could hear cats mussing about. Nice. Now, I am no builder. I just like to build. What I mean is, I don't have this resume or this toolbox of ideas to do with things in Pax Dei in particular. If you go around the Golden City, which I implore you to, to check out the Golden City. There's so many different varieties of what to do. And you'll be like, hold it, what pieces are those? Same ones you have. Hold it, what pieces are those? Same ones you have. Well, once you're at level 35, you'll see a lot of those pieces, and you'll be able to create a lot of those structures, even though a less finished version, which is just fine. Yours will be the difference. Altari, Okay, I'm off there. Oh, there's one I forgot. Was that a slow hit? Did I just get a slow hit? Exactly what do I have off? I'll find out. This is one of the ways you do it. Well, you're going around in circles, you know, you just mess something up. And you're like, oh, I just want to get it done. And then you realize, oh, I just... Well, no, that's actually... Oh, that's really cool. You know, the patterns you can get... I've been doing it for a long time. You know, Myth of Empires, Conan, Empyrean. Love building in all those. Starships, spacecraft. Castles, stables, homesteads, fortresses, just whatever. Maybe just something cool. Empyrean, it was hard to build something small and cool. Large blocks. And you couldn't use the small blocks for building unless you were doing an editing trick, which helped using the small blocks. Well, I'll tell you, I thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to be here a bit longer. You can watch on. But if you're waiting for seasons, hold your breath. No, don't hold your breath. That's harmful. I should watch what I say. People might do it. He said, hold our breath. Don't. Why? It's not Red Dead Redemption, guys. It's not... Well, not yet, and we don't want it to be. But okay, that quality, right? All those goodies, dude. That's Rockstar. $1 trillion a year in earnings. I do not know what their costs are, but $1 trillion in earnings. GTA 5 is a third of that. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not. But it makes money, but it's not GTA, and that tells you something. Oh well, Red Dead Redemption that's a mixed bag. Everybody there, go ahead and try it. You know, go ahead and try Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not young, but there's a lot of work, a lot of money, a whole lot of money. Well, let me. I do not want to connect the floors to each other per se. What am I doing here? Exploration of space. I do. Yeah, would I like to get rid of that right there? Yeah, sure, I would. Would I like to have less of this glowing blue nightmare around me? It used to be a glowing orange nightmare, and I like orange. It got to the point where I was like, I don't like orange as much anymore, which is impossible. It's just impossible. Are these going to be flaky? They're going to be flaky. Maybe just later. Take your chances. This is a one-plot build that I'm working on. What, it's going to be a house? Is it going to be a home? Ooh, okay, so it is going to be a market, and there's going to be other considerations. One thing, where are we on that? Your market stall's down here. You can see with plank, wooden beam, bronze nails, and coarse linen, that's simple stuff. All these market stalls are yours. What's the difference? Check it out. Do you have stuff people want to buy? Go with sand. I don't think there's a problem with going with sand. Oh no, I've never sold anything. That's just, if you want to hear what everybody says, start with sand. Because there's a lot of demand. And if you just, you know, set your price around what the market is, you know, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Well, one plot doesn't seem like that large of a space. Oh, are you kidding? Look, you're a small little figure. What do you want, a condominium? I mean, you want a mansion? Think you're Trump? I mean, come on. Want Mar-a-Lago, or what, Mar-a-Lago? The first White House, so to speak, or not the first, I'm sorry. But it was considered the Floridian White House. We've had physics changes to the pieces. I'm just getting to the point where I've stopped seeing coming corrections to the building systems. Now I'm seeing where they want to add building components. applause. You know, really applause. I'm always for that. Though I do very much agree, and I want to go down a list of how I agree, which you don't have to care. You really don't. I mean, big deal. So I agree, especially with things that make sense and things that are reasonable. Of course you agree, right? So you get a Masterfully Mastered who has a whole list and has had them before. I've left him alone because that's his thing, and I don't want to be jumping all over it, but his characters have quite a long history in representing Pax Dei. And I believe that itself, you see how the other one lines up, but this one doesn't? Angst. Angst. Pure angst. Dang it. It could have been perfect. But no. No. I'd be like, it's Schmeagol. Attack! I can change, I can change. Don't you know I'm not just a little... Sorry. I can change, I can change. That's the weirdest song. I enjoy that part. It's the only part of the movie I enjoy besides... Never mind. There's others, but I won't. If you haven't seen South Park the movie, don't do that to yourself. But do. And then watch Beavis and Butthead's movie. That'll swear things away for you. No, I don't like that. I know. I really don't mind clowns at all. Well, shoot, you've seen me walk up to this plot every time with twist, every time with another character, to say, hey, can we do anything with it? And well, now we can. Should I be frustrated? Should I be angry? Should I feel ripped off? I wish I had the lines in Jesus Christ Superstar, which I hear they're doing again, and Boy George walked up the set. As far as I'm concerned, Boy George should not be on the set of Jesus Christ Superstar. Again, I'm sorry, is there a problem with that? Exactly, unless he's playing Herod, or if he's playing, Felix, is it? I can't remember the one who was there trying to take, expected Paul to give him money. He's like, well, this guy's boring. Interesting. Oh, it's just off. When you make these things, you do hope for some, just synchronicity, that things work out. But it didn't. See? Didn't. Now I get to destroy it all. Or I change it. I counted how many pieces I had. I was one extra. Ooh, 6, 7. Ooh. So there's some changes. I'll be doing that. Stretching it out, moving it around, moving it over. Making sure, like, why? What's the point? And I might change it all. Because I do have a concept. I'm just working on the foundation to it. And I wanted something cool. And you'll see what I'm doing. Oh, it's not... Oh, I could tell you. Okay, so... during some very nice Oktoberfest festivals, I've seen a lot of images, as I have not traveled to them myself in Germany. Traveling to Germany is not really one of my wishes. I'm not really into the place, nor the people. Really, I'm sorry, we haven't been into Germans since before World War I here in America. The Germans here are not into the Germans in Europe. Go figure. Just go ahead, look it up. My family's German. We're not into them. Auf Wiedersehen. Oh, they just say Wiedersehen, I guess. But anyway, that could be a place for a door. No, I'm going to have to count out the blocks and do boring things. Well, speaking of doing boring things, I want to make sure to get this baby up. And we're going to not belabor it anymore. Let's go over to... I just don't want people to fall through stuff. Make it a little bit more interesting. It's sat the way it was for quite a while. Yeah, I know, it's so much more interesting now. I got to make a round surface over it. And it's going to be a lot of shaping and a lot of beam stacking. So what I need to do is get Twist up to that construction level, or bring Johan over here. Let's just chop down the tree. I got to go load up the charcoal. Or bring Johan over here to start doing it, right? Get Twist up to that level, which she is not in carpentry. We have no way of looking at carpentry at this moment. Up and away, my beautiful birch. What were you on? Not on me. Whatever. I still say it's the reeds. Has mainframe just said, yes it is? No, when people talk about the tilting trees, they just kind of show the sweating little emote, And they're like, yeah. And it's like, well, hold it, that's not an answer. Just say, no, we can't do anything about it unless we remove all the plants around the trees. And the way the plants, I'm making this up, and the way the plants are laid out by Unreal, we can't just say, stay away from the trees by a radius. And what would the radius be? Because the tree's measuring everywhere it falls. When they fall against a home, we're going to try it here. Victimize my poor neighbor's place. This is a beautiful little place, by the way. Really, if you want a nice little place, and you're like, well, I don't know what to do, come over here and check this out. Start small. Or start big. See? That well was far enough away. Or not big enough, actually, to be hit. But that's, the alpha on the well's big. It's hard to build around them. If you don't, you're going to find out. You're going to find out. You're going to find out. You think my accent's funny? See, I got this missing tooth here just to remind me of home. No, I'm from California. By the way, Discord's from California too. So if they try to steal your son and remove his and make him a girl, you're the one who didn't know. Yeah, California, man. I wish I could get my mom out. I mean, I've gone on for many years thinking, well, California's all right, because I spent time in the military away from California. And then moving back to California in the mid-90s, I was like, California is not all right. And now we're here 30 years later. I mean, really? Really, California? Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they think they can just live off the efforts of the past. Not maybe. That's what they're doing. They're saying, oh, there's so much money, we can just burn this out. Fuck. And I love people, who are smug about America. Let's just finish off on the good old US of A. Will somebody please look up exactly how fast we were in Venezuela after the earthquake? Which is really expensive. Getting Maduro's dirty butt out of there, that guy's just filthy scum. And he has been for years. If you think our politicians are filthy scum, you're most likely a very ignorant toad. Really, because compared to Maduro, even Schumer, a Jewish guy who hates Israel, this Zionist or anti-Zionist or I am a Zionist, like Zohran Mandami. I think he was standing next to one of the senators, her female senator, who's like, see, he's not against Zionists, I'm a Zionist. Hold it. Why are the liberals standing with Islam? Yeah, I don't understand. Don't they know what Islam does to the people, to their constituency? These things don't make any sense. Hey, Madami's Islam. If you don't think that, you and I definitely disagree. So, we have things in this game. I came out with this video that said Pax Dei's woke. The developers are woke. they're not thinking reasonably. They're thinking whimsically with our bloody time. They're doing it over and over again. And people got to get in and tell them no. Because mainframe has a very hard time saying no. You know? And their game is starting to look like a gacha. Right? Look at these achievements. Wow, that's going down. Really? You think I'm a shill? Check it out. These achievements. It's just like, you know, I said it before. Well, I said it before I knew Mastered was saying it. That's all I'm going to say. That we don't get a reward. We're getting stone and clay as a reward for getting stone and clay. Give us gold. You know, give us gold. Give us gold. We're making charcoal. Why give us 50 more? We just chopped down a whole frickin' forest. Give us gold. Give us grace. You know, they've already given us a year worth of grace, you know, for each character. Give a couple months more, because it's going to take more than a year to earn that grace. Have some confidence. Handing people a bunch of resources just so, what, now they're worthless on the market? You're undermining perceived value. Well, maybe the market prices need to go down. Oh, okay, well, how much does grace cost per hour? Alright, 400 grace in-game is worth 30 days in a grace plot. What does a grace plot cost? It's actually perfect right here at Isolet's place, because Isolet spends a bunch. Coal Calamity, Central Casting, because it's all coal. So, right, this grace plot. Well, if I want to buy plots, right, get more tokens. Get more tokens, do it, let's spend money. We're not spending money with the twist. Someday I might. Someday I might just, start buying plots for each of them. So, one plot with premium, right, you got no choice there. One plot, that's $7 a month. Now, when you buy these plots without the premium status, well, it does premium every time there. Now, there's your token without the premium. See the difference? Please look around. Premium status is $3.99 a month. No plot, $6.99. The tokens, you get one plot for $5. So when you get premium one plot, you're getting a plot for $1. $4.99, $5. Might as well round it up. Subtract $5 from that. It's $1. So you're getting a subscription basically for $1 if you look at this. It says 4 here, but tokens are 5. So it's an interesting sort of reflection when you're comparing the two. You could just say, well, okay, that's $4 a month for that. You add this, that's another $3 for a plot, right? But when you actually look at tokens, $4.99. So anyway, let's say your 400 grace is actually worth $5. That's time. To earn that grace, you should say, well, it took time. You might consider your time worth more, but this is just a base. So when you can decide how much grace is worth, and what is the transfer of grace from gold? Oh, what? You want to say, hey, you want to trade grace? Yeah, I'll give you 240, but it will cost you nearly 19 million gold. That's a pretty steep curve. People trade grace down here, thinking it's pretty easy, at 360 gold for 60 grace. Maybe that's a good standard, because after that it gets kind of weird, doesn't it? Right? 1700 for 90, just for 30 more. Now, we've already gone through this. And we don't want grace to be this cheap, but can it be? 10 grace, $20, 20 gold. Should that be the exchange? Interesting. What is our currency, and what is that currency based on? What is our gold standard, right? Since we use gold, not dollars, we can't have a gold standard, right? We have this gold. So what is the gold worth? what's the grace standard, because they've changed this. You know, they've changed this. You used to be able to buy, I believe, 360 grace at one point. Never 400, but it was the same price down here. So they did move that. I don't believe they changed over on this end. They just made it worthless out here to a greater extent, I think. I'd have to go back, but all those videos are gone. So, Isolate's place. Want to see under the water before we go? Oh, come on. Yeah, it's the speed up is the Alt mouse scroll. Boop. Did he make it? Yes, there. Oh, did it angle out? Now, I believed he might have ran across here. Well, no, he didn't. He did not. I thought these angles, that there's a plot. Maybe there can be. Maybe there can be. I'm not going to discount it yet. There's no reason for anybody to drop a plot there, though you could if it was available. You know, that red was there yesterday. Can you extend? I mean, come on. Just another 72 hours? Come back on with 2 hours left? Snap that plot thing on there? Have you given yourself a 3-day discount? Check it out. Maybe it's not what it seems. Maybe it is. It's up to you to determine it. I'm not going to tell you, because I don't know how you'll do it. So this, yes, we need, yes, a little off center. Need to change a little. I'm just working with the tree. You know, working with the tree. Make sure you flip your textures around. You know, knock down repetition. It's going to repeat anyway. You'll find repetition even if you flip them back and forth routinely. It's the same texture they use for the bridge. It's all the same. They fixed the granite. I haven't had granite yet, but I walked through a lot of granite places. And when you get right up close to this stuff, some of the mortar and other things were a bit stretched over here during the adjustments. You'd look at it and you'd see kind of a glossier mortar, especially if these decals of moss weren't showing up, if those textures weren't showing up. I believe they're decals. Or it would just be plain. And you've seen them before when they're smoothed out. Wunderbar. Everything's getting better. Our texture selection, there's things getting better. It is a big... Have you ever seen those rooms full of spinning plates, guys? I need to get that. I need to get that meme right there. The room, that person running around with the spinning plates, you know, and they're like, oh, and they got as many going as they can. And they just keep increasing until the whole thing collapses. And that's part of the fun, is they keep increasing until something goes down. And people are like, you know, there's a thrill to that. Not so thrilling when you're doing an MMO. Not so thrilling when you're an MMO developer. Alright. I can't wait till we can see ourselves in hovercam again. And if you know why we can't, it's human behavior. Human behavior robbed us. So I gotta change that. Dang it. Well, that's what I'm doing today. I ought to be out here with Twist. We're gonna be out here doing whatever. And that's what you do. Please, come into Pax Dei. Check it out. You can find areas that are less populated than Retz. Check out, but I think you would not, you know, well, role play. Please look up Penny Loafer. She did a review of Pax Dei where she was very confused about what to do. She needed this script, but then the next thumbnail I see her do about choosing games is why she chooses role play. And she's got a, you know, she's doing the Shakespeare thing with, alas, Uric, you knew thee well. And, you know, she's like, why I do role play? I was like, I saw you do role play in Pax Dei. You couldn't figure out your ass from a hole in the ground. You totally acted like an idiot who needed to have a bottle plugged into your mouth. Here, suck on this, you baby. Oh, good, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's like, you know, running around making a total mockery of it. But then does a thumbnail, a Shakespearean thing. What a liberal turd. I hope Shoe on Head wouldn't touch her, because Shoe on Head makes money and is popular. But, you know, I'd like to, you know, maybe I'll just trash her. That's what I should do. I should do a review and just trash her, because I do want to go back through old reviews, especially polished turd reviews of Pax Dei, and call them out. Call them out. How short, how short-sighted they were, how ignorant, perhaps even mildly retarded they are to reality. Okay, everybody. Besides being brutally honest, praise the Lord Jesus Christ. May He bless you today. Right? Lord bless you. If you are in Christ, if you feel Him reaching out to you and you're like, oh, it's just all bull, but I keep thinking about this Jesus Christ guy, well, check it out. Because that's what He's asking you to do. Knock, and it will be answered. Seek, and ye shall find. Believe in what Christ did, and you will have everlasting life. Yeah. So, radical religion. Anyway, keep your sticks on the ice. Good to see you, Spectre, if you're around. Athena. Definitely Flo. Billy, if we catch you. I know these 9 o'clocks and stuff like that. Just going on. It is hard to catch people. Once in a while I see someone bump on and they're like, oh, this is just boring as hell. And it can be. And I apologize, I guess. Actually, I don't care. So, things will improve and things will be less boring. I don't know about improve. I'll just be doing things different as we get into a mode. Maybe Pax Dei will stop being so much of a debate, a point of debate. That's what we need to quit. We actually need more communication from mainframe and, probably less friction when it comes to having no idea. I'd rather have a very good idea of what we're doing so we can discuss that instead of being tempted in Discord. It's my own fault. Being tempted in Discord to see all this hyperbole, that doesn't really mean anything at all. In fact, it's just, don't add anything, please don't interrupt the rap jack if you ain't got nothing new to say, right? One way or another. It's a nice song by the Grateful Dead. Take it easy. Let's get out of here, Twist. We're just gonna... Can we just go? No, of course we can't. It'll never let us. It'd be nice if we can do Zoom like that. I know, I'm using Isolet's place for a nice view. It is. I used to think that was his place up on the hill, but it's just his place going up the hill a bit. Maybe he's coordinating efforts with the other person. I don't know, it's hard to tell. A lot of those lots have changed and moved around as, they grab space better. All right. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been glitchy. But not much. Not much at all. All right, Twist. We're out of here. Have a good time, guys.